So Kevon on stage like absolutely killed the whole argument about this whole 50-50 thing. Like, and yeah, I don't know where this came from. 50-50 as far as splitting bills. Should you go 50-50? A man is in a man if he's not doing 50-50. Like, he literally just killed this whole argument. And if you've been ever considering about going 50-50, or if you feel as a man you should be taking care of everything, or as a woman you're probably thinking like, well, I want a man to not go 50-50. Listen to what Kevon says about going 50-50.
I just saw a TikTok that said if you got to do 50-50, you're half of a man. And I'm so thankful.
Let's stop right there. First and foremost, going 50-50 doesn't make you more of a man or less of a man. It doesn't make you more of a man or less of a man. We're gonna start right there, but we're gonna keep it right.
That when me and my wife were doing 50-50, that wasn't a social media topic because we had 100% love, but them bills were split 50-50.
100% love, 100% love, bills split 50-50. Now, what does that say, right? When you have 100% love, meaning that you guys are fully committed, you guys are all in. And I believe Kev, when he's talking right now, is he's been married for some time, so 50-50, when you split bills 50-50, doesn't make you less of a man as long as you're 100% committed in the marriage. 100% love, 50-50 on the bills. It is what it is. And it's not what it's not. It's not what it's not.
And I'm talking about 300 of my first check, 300 of yours, set that to the side for the rent, the bills, the car, the gas, everything else. And then when I got fired and she was the only one working and I took care of the kids, I was essentially a stay-at-home dad. Heaven forbid I was on social media with that on my heart.
Man, let's talk about this, right? Because when we talk about 50-50, and I've seen the debates about this, and it's always a thing. When we talk about 50-50, you have to understand that life happens. Life can happen, and things can change very quickly. Things can change very quickly, as Kevon on stage literally just said. When he wasn't working, jobs can be lost. Physical disabilities happen. Somebody can get sick. When we talk about 50-50, I think we do have to take a context of things aren't always going to be the same. Things aren't always going to be, we have this one set of income, things are going to go one way. There may be a point in time where the dynamic shifts, where one person is making more money than the other one, right? And if you think about it too, especially relationships that's more progressive, and you may be with somebody who is looking to have more aspirations and things of that nature, such as Kevon says, because he's been doing comedy for a while, but I know he's in his prime right now and he's doing his thing, but he's been at it for a while. So I'm assuming, I don't think he's going to talk about it in this video, but going to that level of trying to be successful, you're not going to always have like a steady income, right? So you're not always going to have a steady income when you're dating somebody, you're talking to somebody, and they're trying to get at something, right? So just think about in that context, because especially when you're trying to work at something, you're not always going to have like a steady income. So if you want to go 50-50 with somebody, that's cool. And I'm not saying you shouldn't or you should. I think this just gives more context as to why 50-50, how 50-50 can be done without specifically a man or a woman feeling like they're out of their role, out of the element. But let's keep rocking the video.
It was hard enough to take as just a man. Having to have people just tell me I am everything but a child of God. I've been married 20 years, be 21 years in 3 weeks.
So let's take in context of this. I know I'm going to be pausing it for a bit. He's been married for over 2 decades. I think what he's saying should be taken as wisdom, because most marriages nowadays, the statistics say it doesn't last more than 5 years. So for him to go 2 decades and like outperform that by 4 times, over 4 times, sensational, phenomenal, amazing. Up until this point, I think him saying this gives more credibility to how relationships can actually work and be healthy. and how to sustain them if you're trying to be married for the long run.
We was 50-50. Shoot, brothers and sisters. I'm talking about from 2004 when we got married until 2018. We was 50-50 and
2004 to 2018. The math is math, and that's 14 years. The question is, if you're with somebody, are you willing to go 50-50 with them or have gone 50-50 with them for 14 years? Right. Yeah, I think that's interesting to be going 50-50 for that long. I'm pretty sure they had problems just as any other relationship or any other marriage, financial issues or whatever it may be. But that's just what had to be done. It just seems like that's just what had to be done during that time. I mean, it seemed like 2018 was when he took off a little bit more on social media. It seemed like he had a little bit more traction, from what I remember, because I know you see my post pre-pandemic, he was becoming more popular on social media. So that 2018 time does sound a little bit more on that side.
maybe sometimes she was more than 50. Couple years there, she was the primary breadwinner.
Mhm.
Let y'all tell her I should have quit my job and maybe quit life. I ain't start earning good, equal, or being able to pay 100% of the bills. I guess that's what a man be, 100% of the bills until 2018. Yet we've been happily married the whole time. So I just thank God social media wasn't social media when it was my life.
And I think that's amazing, him even saying that. And I say that because all in all, you got to really do what's best for you, right? And I think the whole conversation around 50-50 and like, should you go 50-50 with somebody, that's based on like somebody posting about it on social media. And sometimes having this idea, never been in a real relationship, never been married before, never been in like in a situation where they had to really go 50-50 or had to really be in the trenches with their spouse. And a lot of times I feel like, this is my opinion, that a lot of people, women and men, have this idea that 50-50 isn't something that people do, right? A man should be the breadwinner and the wife shouldn't have to pay for anything, right? Now, if that's what works for you, cool. If 50-50 works for you, cool. But what I encourage folks to really think about is how you may have to adapt. Like I was saying earlier, you may have to adapt to 75-25, 0-100. But if you really love somebody, you really want to be with somebody, you really have to take into account that there may be that flexibility. Maybe a time where you have to step up, maybe a time where they need to step up. But all in all, don't listen to social media when it comes to should you go 50-50. It doesn't make you less of a man, doesn't make you, less of a woman, or however you want to take it, however you want to bring it into context into how it applies to you. Because again, people on social media, I promise you, they give relationship advice, haven't even been married before. They give marriage advice, haven't been married before. Have, get into these relationships. A lot of folks, they'll put their own trauma on you to listen to, because it's like, okay, well, this didn't work for me, so it's not going to work for me or for anybody else. And many times when you're coming up, and especially if you haven't seen healthy relationships or you don't really know what healthy relationships look like, you'll take that as, okay, this is really how it's supposed to be, right? You're going to take it as this is how things are supposed to be, when that's not how they're supposed to be. They don't have to be like that. You have to figure out what works best for you, as opposed to trying to borrow this what we call game or whatever it may be, and do what's best for you, right? Sometimes it comes with trial and error. Sometimes that comes with, okay, let me test out 50-50 and see if that's something I'm willing to do. Don't feel as if you need to take advice from people who really haven't been going through it. And I think that's why I really want to show this, because I think Kevon on stage has some insight. He's been married for 20 years, and obviously you had your ups and downs. He has some insight and some type of wisdom on how 50-50 can work, up until maybe you don't have to do it, right? So I want you to really just think about things when you're talking about it being in a relationship, your expectations, when you're going into things, just just do what works best for you. Just do what works best for you. And, there's nothing that ever says, I know this is more of a societal thing. If you wanted your man to provide, then find a man that will be able to do that. If that's something you're willing to compromise, then, you know, you can go 50-50 and have a healthy relationship with somebody. But you got to clear out the noise. You got to clear out that social media concept. You got to really deconstruct all that, because if you're scrolling all day and that's all the stuff you're getting, and that's all the stuff that's feeding into you, then yeah, you're gonna feel some type of way and feel like a man should do that, or you should feel, or you may, feel as if as a woman you should not have to do certain things. But I appreciate Kevin says sharing this. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, check out these other videos here around mental health, relationship, and faith. Until next time, you guys take care of yourselves and take care of each other. Peace.